All right, this is exercise 4, identifying subjects and predicates. So the first thing we want to do is identify prepositional phrases. So of course is a prepositional phrase. I'm going to put parentheses around that. In a pen is a prepositional phrase. And away from the cow is a prepositional phrase. So I can put a line through those because those will not have my subject and verb. So that leaves us, again, I have this word which, that is a relative pronoun that's going to clue me to look for another subject and verb. Okay, so now I'm looking for a verb. Had is a linking verb. Underline that twice and ask myself what had her own calf? Cow. So cow is cow had. Now I'm going to come back over here and I have was kept. I'm going to underline that twice and I ask myself what was kept, and the word which is a relative pronoun which is acting as the subject and a relative pronoun, and it starts a new clause. So this one we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Number 2, to feed the calves is an infinitive phrase. I'm going to put that in parentheses. And produced is my verb. So I'm going to underline that twice. Ask myself, who produced milk? What produced milk? And cows is the subject. That is the, so we have 2. Number 3, here we have an if. That is a subordinating conjunction that tells me I'm going to have probably 2 sets of subjects and verbs. So here on its mama is a prepositional phrase, and of the milk is a prepositional phrase. So I am going to highlight or underline, strike through that. Now, what are my verbs? Was is a verb. I'm going to underline that and ask myself what was on its mama, the calf. So that is the subject. And then I'm going to look for another verb. Drank is a verb. What drank all of the milk? And it is the pronoun. It drank all of the milk as a subject and verb. Okay, number 4. Here we have the word there that tells us our subject and verb is going to be inverted. So let's find our prepositional phrases. For the calf. Okay, for the calf and the farmer both, that is the whole thing is a prepositional phrase. So I'm going to strike through that. Now I'm looking for a verb, was, and remember, whenever that you have the word there, your subject and verb is inverted. So my subject is going to come to the right of my verb. So what was there? And the answer is milk. So the milk is the subject. Not enough describes milk. Not describes enough, and enough describes milk. So there we have it. Number 5, from a trough. And from a bottle. Those are prepositional phrases. I can strike through this because I will not find my subjects and verb there. And drank is the action verb. So underline that twice and ask who drank milk. And the answer to that is calf. Okay, number 6 is a question. So that tells me my subjects and verbs are going to be inverted. So I'm going to find my verb. Have is a verb. Who has? Has what? How about fed? There we go. That makes more sense. Now, who has fed a calf? And the answer to that is you. You. Have you ever fed a bottle? Ever bottle fed a calf? You have ever. Okay. Number 7. Let's find our verbs. There's no prepositional phrases. Was is a verb. And what was older? The calf is the subject. And ate is a verb. What ate? It ate. Okay. Number 8. Of them is a prepositional phrase. Find my verbs. Lived is a verb. Who lived happy lives? Cows and calves. Those are the subjects. And took is another verb. Who took? Farmers. Took good care. Number 9. We do not have any prepositional phrases. Okay, here we have called. I'm going to underline that twice. Who called? Okay, we got a comma right before this, so that's going to tell me something's going on. I'm going to move on. Here, became is a verb. Continued is a verb. Let's see if we can figure this out. So what, I'm going to table called heifers. Who or what became cows? Aha, so calves became cows. So that is the subject. And here we have called heifers. What this is we have a phrase, and it's modifying, it's describing calves. So we're going to just leave that alone. So the calves became cows and continued the dairy production. So what we have here is calves became and continued. We have one subject and 2 verbs, and that was a hard sentence, wasn't it? Did you get that? That was a really hard sentence. Okay, number 10, of life is a prepositional phrase. To find nowadays is an infinitive phrase. At the grocery store is a prepositional phrase. So I can strike through all of that because none of that's going to be my subject or verb. I'll just get rid of all of that. Okay. And I want to look for a verb. So is a verb. And I ask myself, what is hard? And the subject is weigh. Okay. And I'll look through these. I have a verb buy. So who buy their milk? And the question is people. The answer is people. There we have it. Okay, there are 34 possible. Figure out the number you have correct and put it over 34. And I hope that you have done super, super well on identifying subjects and verbs. If you haven't and you need more exercises, then you can email me, go to my website where the videos are and say, I need more help. And I will print you up some more, but do not move on until you have done 80% on identifying subjects and verbs. Because if you can't find subjects and verbs, the rest is just going to be super, super difficult. So I'll see you soon.